Rick, when you're done laughing, are you surprised LeBron's former teammate is throwing shade at him?
I would not be the least bit surprised that a former LeBron teammate is throwing shade at him if that indeed is what is happening here. Because let's face it, what LeBron James said to all those young guns that went to New Orleans in exchange for Anthony Davis is, you're not good enough to play with me to win a ring. And if I'm a player of any status, I would take offense to that. And if I'm a player that then goes to New Orleans and becomes an all-star, I'd take added umbrage when I heard that or when I was basically told that. So, no, it does not surprise me that any of those guys. It actually surprises me that Lonzo Ball seems to buddy up to LeBron and doesn't have any hard feelings. I'd look at it and go, you thought I wasn't good enough. I can't wait to show you. I think that's what Brandon Ingram is doing. And by saying that Zion, the reason I don't believe that it's throwing shade is because he's saying that Zion Williamson is on his level. He's not saying that they are on LeBron's level. Honestly, I think they look at it and say, LeBron's in a whole other category. I just have a guy that I know I can play with who doesn't suck all the oxygen out of the room and has allowed me to become an all-star, as opposed to the other guy who didn't think I could play, didn't think I could help him win. So to me, it's perfectly natural that Brandon Ingram would feel the way he does about Zion without and LeBron without necessarily comparing the two. I think you're inflating this to say that Zion is better than LeBron James. I don't believe that that's what Brandon Ingram is saying.
Rick, I think the only way he's not throwing shade at LeBron is because we're going to take him literally and say he's saying, I've never played with a player as talented as me. I've played with one who's more talented than me, but not as talented. Like that. Yeah. That's the only way I see it. And I think I hear what you're saying in that he's trying to compliment Zion more than he's trying to rip LeBron. I could see that. But there's no doubt it's shade. And you're right. Look, when LeBron went to LA, it tells you how much Brandon Ingram hated that season that they had together. And I get it. It's tough. You went from being one of the faces of the most glamorous franchises in the NBA, or the most glamorous franchise in the NBA, along with Lonzo. It was you and Lonzo, the faces of that team, to being a trade chip. You know, you became one of LeBron's supporting cast. All right. And LeBron, as you said, made you feel like you weren't good enough to play with me. I get all that. But even with that, Rick, I'm not just surprised. I'm not just stunned. I'm not just flabbergasted. I'm gobsmacked that he would go ahead and say something like this. Because this is a statement that is asinine. Ooh. It makes you look bad. Ooh. This makes Kyrie's statement look like he was blowing kisses to LeBron. I mean, this is, from a basketball standpoint, this is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my 26 years of covering the league. From a basketball standpoint, you can't say when you've played with LeBron James that you've never played with somebody as talented as yourself. Yeah. And wow. I get the anger, but Brandon, you're better than that. It makes you look bad.
Rick, the only thing you forgot to mention Anthony Davis. You got traded for Anthony Davis, and the Lakers instantly won a championship.
You and three other guys. I don't care who I got traded for. LeBron James said, I'm not good enough to help you get
He's not good enough. That's a fact. That's a factual statement.
As a player, I would take that personally. I wouldn't feel good about that. I wouldn't, you know what, you're right. And Anthony Davis got you a championship, and my bad. I would take that personally and say, let me show you different. And look, I don't get the part where it's asinine to say that I've got somebody who's as talented as me. I think it would be asinine for Brandon Ingram to say
that's fine.
Zion is the most talented player I've ever played with, or Zion Williamson is the most talented. I've never played with a player as talented as me.
So LaVar, it's your turn. Yeah,
y'all done yet? You're finished.
Yeah, I just want to say asinine, so we've all said the word now. It's out there. LaVar, go for it.
Y'all done yet, or y'all finished? Are we done yet, or are we finished?
It just depends, LaVar. Where are you going?
Let me tell y'all about Brandon Ingram, and let me tell y'all about what this could possibly be from my perspective. When you are an ultra competitive dude, and when you're an ultra competitor, all right, you're always going to believe in your own abilities. I thought I was better than Ray Lewis. If you told me that I played with a guy and he was as good as me and it was directed towards Ray Lewis, you would not be able to convince me otherwise that I was better than Ray Lewis. Because my mind told me that's what I was, talent-wise. It might not be reflective in my stats. It might not be reflective in my MVP goals, awards. It might not be reflective in a Super Bowl. But in my mind, I think I am the best to do it. And you know what? If you're going to ever have an opportunity or have a chance to try to be the best at what you do, and that's what pros strive to be, the best at what they do. Could this just be looked at as a tad bit of just sarcasm, tongue in cheek? I think I am very good. I think I am the most talented and the most gifted. And this dude is as gifted and as talented as I am. I don't tend to go down the road of where most people are going to travel down, right? Because if he said that, knowing that this is the road that everybody's traveling down, then it's kind of like there's no hit to it. There's no weight to it. There's nothing there. Like, that's kind of, to me, it's like you're having a moment like, oh, man, I ain't never played with a dude as talented as me since playing with this guy. It doesn't have to necessarily be shot in a way where you're taking a shot at the obvious. I know I was traded for Anthony Davis. I know I played with LeBron James, but I also know how good I am. And I'll be honest with you. If you really think about it, in some circles, I was better than Ray Lewis. In some circles, people may say that Brandon is better than LeBron James.
No, nobody says that.
It might sound crazy. Listen,
no, don't go there.
It might sound crazy. There's a kid that was standing there on the bleachers watching Brandon play when he was growing up. There's somebody somewhere. I don't know where they're at. I don't know where it exists. It could be where he grew up. There's somebody that saw the talent of Brandon and Brandon Ingram and really felt as though that Brandon Ingram is one of the most talented dudes. Now, I might sound crazy, and y'all might sit there at home saying, LaVar sounds crazy, like he doesn't know what he's talking about. But I do. Everybody has a legend. Every single player that has made it to the pros has a legend, and there's a story out there that exists where you could say he did something so legendary that it would rival anybody else. People said Lenny Bias was better than Michael Jordan. If what happened to Len Bias had ever happened, there would have never been a Michael Jordan. That's probably more urban legend than it is truth. But you know what? To people in Suitland, Maryland, shouts out to Suitland. To people in PG County, shouts out to PG County. They believe that Len Bias was a better basketball player than Michael Jordan. Somewhere, somebody thinks Brandon Ingram was that type of talent,
Rick,
and he believes it.
LeBron averaged 27, 8, and 8 in the year he played with Brandon Ingram.
Okay. Well, look, what would be asinine is if Brandon Ingram is suggesting that he's on LeBron's level and that now Zion is finally a player that's on his level. I just don't believe Brandon Ingram, no matter what the people in PG County or Maryland
not PJ,
saying, is crazy enough to believe that. I do believe that this is a matter of who do I like playing with more, that's generating it, and who have I personally had more success with, and who believes in me more.
And what's wrong with that?
It makes sense that he would like to. Look, Zion's a different personality. Zion's in a different place in his career. Brandon Ingram wouldn't be the first player to say that LeBron sucks all the oxygen out of the room, and it may not be personal, even though in this case I think it is. And I'd rather play someplace else and become a star then become LeBron's caddy.
Everybody's
I have
not
no
willing to kiss
problem with
rings.
Brandon Ingram.
Like,
believe
Kyrie
me.
Irving was
Y'all
there.
act like everybody's supposed to just kiss rings. Everybody don't have to sit around and kiss LeBron's ring. Everybody don't have to kiss rings.
Isn't it better to have a ring to kiss?
Everybody
Brandon
doesn't have to
Ingram
kiss
doesn't have
rings. All right, LeBron James is good. We know he's one of the greatest ever. We know that. But he doesn't have to. Brandon Ingram doesn't have to kiss his ring.
You guys sound like Kyrie Irving when he was trying to come back and say, I wasn't talking about LeBron. If I'm talking about him, I'm going to mention his name. I mean, I get where you're going, Rick. We all know that there are players that have played with LeBron and not enjoyed it. We get that. All right. But Brandon Ingram did not. He worded his statement in a way.
It was weirdly worded.
You played with LeBron James, you know that, and you chose to say, I've never played with a guy as talented as myself. I'm looking at every one of your former
You can't read any
teammates,
sarcasm in that.
and I'm saying
honestly.
that you said none of them.
Y'all can't read any sarcasm in that.
Brandon Ingram, I know Brandon Ingram is sarcastic. That's where.
I will give Brand. If Brandon's not saying that, then dismiss everything I said. Then fine. You know, that's good. If he just wants to say, I love playing with Zion, it's a lot of fun playing with him. He's a guy that's equal in talent to me. We're going to be a great tandem together. You know, that's fine. But why even go to I've never played with a guy as talented as me?
Because it's a
and I don't care
literary
how
technique.
good Brandon Ingram.
It's a literary
how
technique.
How good Brandon Ingram becomes.
He
is never going to be as good as LeBron James.
He knew y'all were going to do that.
He could become a Hall of Famer.
He knew everybody was going to do this.
Rick, let me just one more thing, Rick. So we know that Michael Jordan's teammates, some of them did not like playing with him. Kobe Bryant's teammates, some didn't like playing with him. How is this any different? LeBron's former teammates, some of them, Kyrie Irving, Brandon Ingram, didn't love the experience. Doesn't it speak to LeBron's greatness on some level that he was difficult to play with?
Yeah, no question. If you play with LeBron, it's going to be the LeBron show. And it's going to be done LeBron's way. And that's not all that different from playing with Kobe or Michael. I'm not suggesting that this is somehow a legitimate shot at LeBron. But I also am not dismissing that Brandon Ingram has reason to say, you didn't think I was good enough. I thought I was good enough. I thought I could play with you. I thought I could win a championship with you. And you said I couldn't. So you know what? Let me go out here and prove different. And I become an all-star, and now I'm playing with a guy who may not be the same talent as LeBron, but appreciates my talent.
Well, he's the same talent as him.
Doesn't suck all the oxygen out of the room. And I'm going to go build something. Like, keep in mind, we're all of us here. We're a little older in age. We've learned to, pacify things. We've learned to, accept certain things. If I'm a young gun at Brandon Ingram's age and somebody told me, yeah, you're not good enough, I would like that. Well, that still gets my hackles up at this point. But at that point, yeah, I might say something. And I wouldn't care who it was, LeBron James, Michael Jordan. Probably says more about me than anything else. But I would take umbrage with that.
He was going for effect,
I'm not good enough to play with you. Let me show you. I'm going to go play with this other guy.
Y'all reading too deep.
Let me ask Chris something.
About the other guy, maybe I did.
Y'all reading too deep into it.
Rick keeps saying you're not good enough to play with me. I don't think LeBron said that, Chris. Isn't he just saying the best chance to win a championship is to bring in Anthony Davis? And that's accurate. That's not saying Brandon Ingram's crap or garbage.
That's saying you're not good enough. That is saying you're not good enough.
Brandon Lonzo, all those guys, they've got reason to be upset with LeBron. There's no doubt about it. I mean, yes, LeBron was like, I can't win with y'all. That's essentially what he was saying. He was lobbying for Anthony Davis during that season. So I get where they're angry at him, and I've got no problem with that. And I actually like you guys said, I like you taking the mentality of, I'm going to prove to you that I'm a great player, LeBron. Right. But just go ahead and do it. Don't make a statement like this because this just makes you look bad.
He's just going for effect.
You don't need to be taking on LeBron James in the public opinion.
You know what? This is where I agree with LaVar. Like, is he literally saying that Zion is better than LeBron, or
he's not.
No. But what he wants to say is,
I think he was saying he's better than LeBron.
He was going for effect. He was driving home the effect. That's all.
It came off.
Shame
I don't
on
even
y'all.
look at it. I don't even look at it as him comparing Zion and LeBron. I look at it as him comparing himself to LeBron.
Shame on y'all for attacking Brandon Ingram over this.
Maybe he was saying, maybe it's like I got another star beside me, maybe a superstar who doesn't dominate the basketball, right?
Yes.
Who plays off the ball, who moves without the ball. It's a lot easier to play with him. That's fine. Just say that. But don't rip.
It was not literal. It was not literal. It was for effect. Come on, guys.
It's rare when Broussard and I agree this much. But
we took a hard right turn. I had to leave you, but I'm back.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.